Hello.
What's happening, Bitsaway?
What's up, Sonny?
I'm all right, bro. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was just wondering about this again. I was wondering about this. What you're going on now about ACEWins? That there was no deception. Hold on. No. Listen to me. Just 1 second. You got a timer counting down for more than 24 hours. Before the end of the timer, the contract's already pumped up and dumped back down again. 6 minutes before the timer even was supposed to due to go off. You've had multiple YouTubers promoting this project, promoting the timer launch, giving everybody a deadline for when they can get in early to an hourglass, where the object, as you would say, would be to get in early.
Yeah.
And you're trying to tell me that on Ace's part, from the developer. Now, I'm a developer. I run my own project as well. So I know who the responsibility lies with. You're trying to tell me there's no responsibility at all on the dev.
I mean, there's some, but you could say that, you know, he did what he was all he was required to. He made the contract for him. He put the timer.
No, hold on. No. I mean, he was required Bitsaway to launch that project at the end of the timer, like he'd advertised. Like he advertised on his website a countdown timer that was going to count down to 0. That contract and UI should have gone live at 0.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Otherwise, that is a mistake, a mess up, a blunder on the part of the developer.
Yes, but you can't say it was deception though, because everything was transparent.
It was deception.
On the blockchain.
No. You could see how much the fact that he got away with everything 20 minutes before it all happened on the blockchain. Yes, that's transparent, but it doesn't mean to say he's been perfectly honest and open about it.
Well,
like I said, he was at fault. Whether he buckled to the pressure, then he shouldn't have dealt with Oracle. If he couldn't deal with Oracle, he shouldn't have dealt with Oracle in the first place.
Well,
but he decided to deal with Oracle, and then he felt the wrath. He felt the consequences. I've dealt with Oracle. He didn't mess up anything of mine.
No, I know, but the thing is, if Oracle's threatening to, you know, ruin ACEWins and destroy the project because
listen, then that's down to the integrity and the strength of the project. If you're telling me that Oracle can ruin ACEWins, then ACEWins is shit. Well, Oracle can't ruin anything that I've created.
No, I know.
I don't worry about that.
I think what Ace was concerned about is that he wouldn't get him to pump it up and he wouldn't get all the ETH because, you know, yeah, let's face it, Ace the dev, he wanted the 1.5% of every transaction or whatever it was that he gets.
It's 3% overall.
3% or whatever it was. So
and then I see it as a lie. Did he put on the UI? Is it even on there now? What happens to your money when it goes in? Were you aware? Were people aware when the timer counted down? Were they aware that a part of the percentage of dividends that they thought they were getting was actually going to be held back to pay a daily ROI percentage?
I think so. I mean,
I think so, but remember, I've spoken to Ace directly, and he apologized and said, "You know what? Yeah, that was a mistake I made. I was deceptive there. I should have put that information out because it was 3 days after the fact that I spoke to Ace and told him you're still deceiving people on your website now by not telling them what's happening to the ETH. You've got it written there that 24% is distributed to dividends. That's a bold-faced lie."
Yeah, well, it was a quick turnaround. I mean, dude, he literally coded that shit.
You're very polite about it now. When you've been talking about Gandhiji all these times, pump and dump, this, that, and the other, and now it comes to your mate Ace's Dapp, and it's a quick turnaround. You make me laugh, bro. Your double standards really make me laugh.
I'm just, it's like
you can see it though, Bitsaway, can't you? Like it's your mate's thing now, and all of a sudden, it was a quick turnaround. Maybe you're going to tell me next it's a long-term project.
Well, it is. No, it is. It is a long-term project. ACEWins in. That's why he's still here, man. Like, literally projects. Look how many
Bitsaway, okay. Don't forget, Bitsaway, who you're talking to right now, man. I'm not just one of your normal members of audience. You know who I am, and you know what I understand about this space and how deep I am into this Dapp game. So, when your bullshit isn't going to fly with me. Sorry for my language.
Well, it's not bullshit. It's just
listen, you came on here first of all trying to say that it's not. It's what inspired me to click the link today was the fact that you're trying to come out here and say that it's no responsibility of Ace at all. That's bullshit. He's the developer. It's his responsibility. Yeah. It's his Dapp. It's his ecosystem. So, he claimed responsibility for it when he said he's the dev. Whatever happens within his Dapp is his responsibility.
Yeah, I'll agree. He's at, he has some, but at the end of the day, I mean,
he has some. The
you know how the fucking
stops with him.
Oracle
The
goes,
buck
man.
stops with him, bro. I've dealt with Oracle. I've dealt with so many different YouTubers. I'm in the same position as he's in. I've dealt with so many different YouTubers. I didn't let any one of them get the upper hand over me.
Yeah, well, that's you, bro. That's you.
Yeah, okay, so that's me. But then Ace is coming out now and saying that, look, I mean, I got kicked out of his Discord, out of his Telegram for correcting people when his own workers were trying to tell them that his contract is better than Gandhiji's. I simply made a correction to them. They booted me out, called me insecure.
Well, I mean, I will admit I didn't know exactly how the contract was working. I didn't know the percentages too much. I just knew that, hey, they're doing this Dapp. It's a 25%, whatever, 25% tax. So, I wasn't really that big on it because I'm not that big on it.
We don't do that much research, Bitsaway, but when it comes down to it, we do kind of tell people in the crypto space, do your own research.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look into things before you chuck your... And it's not your style. I know you'd rather chuck your money in first and not bother what's going on. But generally, checking things out and seeing what's going on before you throw your money in is a practiced way, or a good way of going around cryptocurrency. Not trying to just FOMO people into things that they don't even know what's going on with. That it's not really a great look in my view.
Yeah, it is, but you can't say it was a full deception because you could see it's not like people bought in not knowing.
You can't say that it wasn't a deception because it was transparent just because it was on the blockchain. You can't. You don't get to use that.
Answer this.
It's like saying, look, okay, he stabbed everybody, but he did it in broad daylight. It doesn't mean that he didn't stab everybody. He still stabbed everybody, and you're trying to say, look, it was daytime, bro. Everybody could see what he was doing.
Yeah, but
it doesn't make it any better, Bitsaway.
But answer me this: would anybody have bought into the contract without knowing how much ETH is in it? It's not possible. You know how much ETH is in it before you buy in. Everybody does. So,
what kind of a lame excuse are you trying to pull out here, Bitsaway? The fact of the matter is, there was a countdown time. I don't have to keep repeating myself. The countdown timer was supposed to go off at a particular time. That was the sole responsibility of Ace, to make sure, if he's put a timer on his website, that at the end of that timer, if you want to have a look at the integrity of Ace, it comes down to whether or not he could pull that launch off or not. And what did he do other than buckle under the pressure and give out the contract link before the timer went off, not only to a YouTuber, but filled his own bags as well first?
I mean,
pre-timer. While the whole thing had been advertised as there will be no pre-mine, the timer will go off and everybody will get a fair chance to get in.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like I don't know.
It was deception on the part of the developer. There's no two ways you can try and candy coat it up as much as you like because he's your mate. But if you were to look from an independent, impartial view, yes, you're blaming the dev.
Yeah, no, but let's just say what it was. Okay, the Dapp was created for the Oracle to get in and all his little Discord and all his little wolves to pump it up. That was the goal of the contract, right? So that's what they did.
Listen, hold on. If you're telling me that was the focus, that's the reason why Ace did it, was just to give it to Oracle to pump up.
Yes, and in return for that, he gets marketing for ACEWins, and he gets a little bit of income for help for the project.
Okay, so why didn't he launch all of that with the integrity that he said and get it to all launch on time as stated? Or why then? Why not? Why was it told in the advertising of everything that, you know what, this will all be launched and it will be fair at the end of the timer? Why was there not a warning on the timer telling everybody that certain people will be allowed to enter this contract before the end of the timer goes?
Well, I think that was decided way later. That was decided like probably 10 or 15 minutes before it launched.
So then that was the point when he deceived everybody. When he buckled under the pressure at that point, that's when Ace messed up and deceived everybody.
Yeah, but what's he supposed to do at that point? He's supposed to no, or
tell him no. I'm going to launch it if you don't want to advertise it, if you don't want to be a part of it. If he had any actual faith in the code that he was producing, that it was going to do anything, he wouldn't worry about one single promoter, what they're going to do.
Yeah, but if
What?
if Oracle is telling you, hey, if you don't let me do this, I'm not going to. All these people in the
For
Discord are
3
not going to come
hours,
in.
Oracle tried to
all
get
this
me to
stuff.
make that same contract that Ace made, and I told him no because I knew the mess that Ace would make of it, or anybody would make of it.
I mean,
what?
There could have been.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, no answer.
I mean, dude, like,
it happened. This is all stuff that's happened. It's whether you took the time to note it or not. These are all real events that I'm talking about that happened.
It did, but put yourself. I understand, but put yourself.
I was in that position.
Don't
try and tell me to put myself in. I was already there. Don't forget, it was me. It was my name. It was Sonny that was used. This dev is a trusted dev like Sonny. Don't tell me you didn't hear that.
Who said that? Who said that?
Oracle said that. Well, YouTubers have said that.
I do.
Listen, hold on a minute, Bitsaway. Don't be a dickhead now. Yeah, you're going to try and tell me that you haven't heard that up to now.
No, I have. I've had.
Okay, so then stop being a dickhead about it.
Where you heard it, because I
heard it all over the internet. Did you not?
Yeah, but I didn't hear. I didn't hear exactly. Just like Sonny. I didn't hear that.
Well, yeah, okay. Like I've heard it compared to both Gandhiji and Sonny. Oh. I've heard Ace being like, we need a trusted dev like Sonny from Gandhiji. That's what he is. Ace is a trusted dev like Sonny from Gandhiji.
Let's face it.
This is going to be a long-term project, just like Gandhiji, and it's going to be fair like Gandhiji. It's none of those things. He is nothing like me. It's nothing like that at all.
But let's face it. It was still a good contract. It was still correct, wasn't it?
You're a fucking pleb. Sorry about my language. You're a pleb, Bitsaway.
Okay,
can you code? Can you really sit here and tell me that that's a good contract? Can you?
Okay, but was there an exit scam?
Can you though, Bitsaway? Yes or no?
Was there any drain or exit scam?
Was there deceptions that happened in the launch that were the responsibility of that dev? Were there things in that contract that dev had not mentioned prior to launch or even after launch? Yes, there were. So what do I consider that a dev being honest? No, I don't.
Well, it's not that he wasn't honest. It's just that
he wasn't honest. It's just that he's your mate. You can't bring yourself to say that, Bitsaway. This is the problem I have. I've fallen out with people because they do dishonest things. I don't look at, you can hold it against me if you like. But if I see something that's deceptive, I call it out because I understand there's a greater responsibility there. Whether it's somebody that's befriended me, whether it's somebody that's making videos for my project or not, I've fallen out with them for whatever reason because that's what I stand for. They're my principles.
Yeah, well, I'll say that, but the thing is, I don't see. The only way you could call him a dirty dev or say that it wasn't.
The only way I could call him a dirty dev is if he had a timer and then he let people in to pump and dump his contract before the timer went off, then launched the UI to try and get everybody else wrecked afterwards. That's how I'd call him a dirty dev. The only way I could call him a dirty dev, Bitsaway, is if he launched a UI that had mistakes on it and that had deceptive numbers. On the UI compared to what was actually happening in the contract.
That would have been dirty, but it wasn't.
That is dirty, and that is the case.
No,
I haven't checked whether he's fixed it right now, but I did tell him about this 2 or 3 days ago.
No, but the UI said 2,500 ETH in the contract.
The UI tells you that you get 24% dividend distributed, does it not?
I haven't checked.
Oh shit, my memory's gone. I don't know whether it's 24% in or out anymore. I don't know. I can't remember, Sonny. I can remember where the pullback function is in the ARB contract, but right now, this very second, I can't even remember if Ace Dapps says that it's 24% in and out. Come on, Bitsaway, you got to understand. I told you, you're not just talking to a lame-o. Yeah, I'm going to pull you out on these things because I know you know full well. And he hasn't fixed it. I've just loaded it up now. It's still lying to you. It's still lying to you. So he's still being deceptive. Even though I told him what the issues were in Telegram, he's still being deceptive about it, Bitsaway. So don't come here and tell me that I can't call him a dirty dev because I can. And I've got proof and evidence that I can use to demonstrate why I say the things that I do and I call him the things that I do.
Well, that's your opinion. So
It's not my opinion. Like I just said, we're not talking about ARB anymore. I'm talking about facts on the blockchain and on his website, real life things that have happened Bitsaway. You might want to try and brush them under the carpet because he's your mate, but that's you.
Well, the only way he would have been a dirty dev for me is two ways. If he
Let's just put it into perspective, though. For you, is David a dirty dev?
David, I mean, yeah, now looking at it. But at the time, he had us all fooled. So I mean, I don't think Ace is like that.
No, wait, again, Bitsaway. He didn't have us all fooled, though, did he? He didn't fool all of us, did he?
Yeah.
He might have had you fooled, but he didn't have me fooled, did he, Bitsaway?
No, you had him.
Facts are facts, though, aren't they? From the very start, like you say, now you admit he's a dirty dev. From day one, he didn't have me fooled, but he had you fooled. Yeah. So now you're going to sit here and tell me that I can't call Ace a dirty dev because he's got you fooled.
Yeah, but it's different. It's a different.
Yeah, it's different this time.
Scenario. It's different. It's different.
Sure, bro. It is Bitsaway. It's different this time. Yeah,
it's different.
Was it different? Was it different in Nova Chain? Was it different that time too?
Well, yeah, because they had a fucking,
let me guess, it's different in Moonberg as well. Yeah.
I mean, shit.
That's different bits of Moonberg.
Yeah, I'll trust. Moonberg's
all right, listen. I've told you my piece, and I've told you where I'm coming from, and the only reason I clicked the link is because you're sitting here sucking him off, Ace off on your stream, and trying to say that he's not responsible when he is responsible. So I'll let you carry on with your little game of poker now.
But let me say this. You can't say he's 100% responsible. It's 50-50.
Yes, I can. It's his Dapp Bitsaway.
50-50.
He is the dev. He's not even 50-50. No, it's his. He launched the contract. He made the UI with whatever intent. He leaked it early. It's his fault. It's his fault. I'm a developer. Okay, listen, I'll try and meet you in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a developer, so I'm going to blame the developer. I'm going to go to the root of the cause. You're a YouTuber. Maybe you want to blame YouTubers for that reason. But the buck stops with the dev.
It does, but if the dev is concerned about his main guy pulling all the funding, what's he supposed to do? Just say no? Just
say no. Just say no. If the dev had any inkling, he should have said that in the first place. If he was worried about anything like that, he shouldn't have got into bed with that person in the first place.
I agree. He should have
never. But he did. Got in with him. So that was another mistake that dev made. And then at the point when he got into pressure, then he decided to deceive the whole community out there, just so that he could what? Perform to peer pressure of the Oracle. Is that what you're trying to say?
Pretty much. I mean, I still don't say that he deceived.
Then he's weak, bro. He's weak. He's not going to last in the space anyway.
Well, he's lasted a good amount.
Yeah, because he took ICO funds and now he's playing this little game with you over and over again. Woohoo! Well done, mate. Well done.
I mean, he's making product.
And know what? Well, let me guess. He's made the new gun. Did you kill a Dapp now? Is that the one? Yeah, that's it. You're going to praise him for that. Listen, again, Bitsaway. Yeah. I don't really like talking to you in that sense. I only came on here, because I just wanted to explain to you, even though he's your mate, I thought maybe you'll be able to see it from an impartial point of view. But I don't think you really want to. That's what it comes down to.
No, I can see it. I see your side. To it, but I'm just saying you don't see my side to it. So you're just looking at your side that, you let them all get in.
And I've got a couple of minutes then. I'm going to mute my mic, but listen to your side.
Okay. So my side is that the whole Oracle came up with the idea for Ace with the ROI game and the Hourglass in one. Okay. So he gave me the idea. Ace said, okay, I'll code it up quick. We'll get the UI and everything. And so when it came time to launch, there was supposed to be no pre-mine. It was just supposed to be maybe the Oracle in for 2 ETH. All right. Oracle in for 2 ETH. And I don't know what happened if he thought, for some reason, somebody was telling him that I got in the pre-mine, which is false. I did not get in any pre-mine for ACEWins Dapp at all. So I don't know what somebody told him, but that's not true. So that I don't know if that caused him to tell Ace, I want to get in early and I want everyone in my Discord to get in early. And, so that caused Ace to kind of give into that, because he said if he didn't give in to Ace, then then he wouldn't have basically gotten to the Dapp. He would have said, "Oh, I'm going to delete everything about ACEWins, and I'm not going to get into the Dapp." So Ace said, "Well, shit, whatever," because the whole point of the Dapp was for the Oracle to get in and pump it, and have all his little Discord cronies get in and profit and pump it, and the ACEWins community could also get in. Now they weren't supposed to get in early. That's where the issue went awry. And you're saying that it was the dev's fault for that, but the dev did not post the link in his Discord. He gave it to the Oracle and told them, you can get in, but he didn't tell them to go ahead and post it in the Discord for everybody else to get in. Okay. So
right, hold on. I've got to interject here just for a second, right? If that were the case, and this was going to be the Gandhiji killer contract that Ace is designing, why did he not code it into the contract that would only be the case at the start?
Well, that's
it. Couldn't have been bought in more than 2 ETH, and these, this address can only buy in this many ETH, and that. And why did he not put those clauses in if he were worried about things happening, prior to launch, which he should have been, obviously, because it's not like a new thing now, is it? That people don't know how to buy into a contract without the UI.
No, I know, but maybe maybe that didn't cross his mind. Maybe he just trusted the Oracle too much, and he figured he didn't.
Shit dev. Then, if that didn't cross his mind, then that is no dev, bro.
No.
Come on, think about it. You again, you're going to fall into the same line of, oh, you know what, David's just incompetent. You're not going to hold any. This is the problem. You don't hold any accountability to the devs when it's really their fault. You want to let them off and believe anything that they say just because they're the dev. Or maybe it's just because they're the devs that are paying you, because you never listened to a fucking word I said.
No, I listened to it, but it's either I didn't want to believe it, or that, I trusted what I heard from David. So, shit happens. So yeah, you were right on ARB. I'm not going to say that you're right on this, technically 50% right, I guess. So it's
okay. Tell me, wait. If you're only giving me 50% right, I want to know which is the 50% wrong bit.
Okay, that's what I'm going to tell you. The 50% wrong is that there's 50% blame to Ace and the Oracle for what happened. You can't blame 100% on Ace.
Well, you need to work on your maths, Bitsaway. I've told you this before. That is no way to try and work out. So either you're telling me that I'm 50%, I'm only half right on what I'm saying. On everything that I've said on your stream, I'm only half correct. If that's what you're saying.
In my opinion, yes.
Right. Okay. So which was the half of the stuff, of the things that I've said on your stream today, out of those things that I've said, which half were the ones that were incorrect?
In my opinion, the half that was incorrect is that it was 100% Ace's fault, the dev.
Okay. You want to blame the Oracle as well?
Yes. 50-50.
Okay. 50-50. How about let's look at it a different way. How about we blame the issues with the Dapp and the launch on the dev? Yeah.
Okay.
And then we blame the promotion aspect, the promotional aspect of things on the YouTubers.
Well, no, you blame the leaking of the contract early on the Oracle.
No, that's the dev's fault.
But what's the dev supposed to do if he gives them here buy in early, and then he posted in his Discord, or somebody tracks his wallet? I mean,
do you want me to? Do you really want? Oh, okay, let me give you the answer. The timer is due to go off. 4 minutes before the timer goes off, he creates the contract. 3 minutes before it goes off, he sends it to Oracle. 2 minutes before it goes off, he starts to attach it to the UI. And 1 minute before, or between 1 minute and 30 seconds before the timer goes off, he makes sure it all goes off and kicks off together.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he could have. It didn't go down that way. So
I know it didn't go down that way, and it's a big problem that it didn't go down that way. If you want to sit there and say it's not the dev's fault, and you know what, he's still got his integrity in place.
Well, see, that's another thing that I don't agree with, because I don't see it as a big problem. Because
you don't, okay, but ultimately, for people that like honesty, transparency, and things to happen that the way people have said, they are going to see that as a problem.
Okay, but answer me this: who was deceived and who lost out on the contract if they could have seen how much was in it before they bought in? Yes, we were all pissed off because we thought, oh shit, we were going to get to run this up from 0 to 1,000.
Well, I don't, Bitsaway, again, I hate to ask this question, because I hope you don't turn long, but what do you mean you couldn't see How much was in the contract before you got in?
I'm saying that how could you say that people were deceived when they could see how much ETH was in the contract? So who lost? The only people that lost are the people that bought in, like me, that maybe didn't look at it, or that bought in at the top thinking that, oh, it's going to go higher. Okay. But the people that bought in early in this Discord, they all made
the people that could have lost, Bitsaway, listen, tell me if this is 50% correct or 100% correct. The people that waited for the end of the timer as instructed right now are the ones that lost.
Yes, and I was one of them. So
am I 50% correct in that or 100% correct?
Oh, you're right. But the thing is,
and then listen, who does the buck lie with at the end of the day? Responsibility to get that contract connected to that UI at the correct time. Who does that responsibility ultimately lie with?
Wait. Hang on. Let me say this first, because
no. Just please just answer the question, then you can say whatever you want.
Okay. What's the question again?
The question is, who's ultimately responsible for getting the contract and the UI to open at the end of the launch timer?
Yeah, that's the devs. That's on the dev. So
did that happen correctly?
Well, I don't know. I didn't.
You can answer with a yes or no here if you like. Did it happen correctly?
I didn't refresh the page before the timer started.
Again, stop being a dickhead, Bitsaway, when you know the answer. This is the thing. We're not in court. It's just you and me having a conversation here. But you know the answer, so say the answer.
But I don't know when he decided.
Okay, listen, you're telling me, right, again, because you're a dickhead, Bitsaway, you're trying to tell me now that you don't know whether the contract launched and the UI was connected at the right time at the end of the timer.
Yeah, I didn't check that. I don't know that. I didn't check that part.
You didn't? Fuck it now. So you don't know whether the timer even went off on time or not? That's what I'm trying to say now.
I was in there 5 minutes waiting, and I refreshed it just like you're supposed to do when I hit 0. And I went in, and I bought in real quick, and then after I bought in, I realized, oh, shit. This thing in it. So yes, I didn't like that feeling. No, but the thing is, if I would have just
you didn't even click. You're telling me you didn't even click 45 seconds earlier, like the Oracle told you to?
No, I didn't. I didn't know. I didn't think. No, I waited till I hit 0.
Okay, all right. Laughing aside, though, since it's been 3 or 4 days now, have you heard? Have you seen anything in the space about whether that timer went off correctly or not?
No, I heard that it didn't go off correctly.
Right. So getting back to the point, yeah. You just said you didn't know whether the timer went off correctly or not. But the truth of the matter is you did know it didn't go off correctly.
After the fact.
That's fine. After I'm talking about right now, do you know?
Yeah, it didn't. I heard that it didn't go. It went off.
Okay. So just to string all this together again, yeah. The first answer was when I asked you the question to whether or not whose responsibility it was to get the UI and the contract to launch at the end of the timer. And we determined that was the dev's responsibility ultimately. Then I asked you, did that happen correctly? And now, after a long-winded talk, we can say, no, that didn't happen correctly.
Apparently not, because we can see after the fact. We can see after the fact that
of course, yeah. So it didn't happen correctly. But so how are you then going to sit here and tell me that that's not the responsibility of the dev?
I mean, it is at that.
There's a link. There's a StreamYard link in the description. I think I can see him up in the live chat. Click it up, and we'll see if Bitsaway wants to let you on.
Oh God. Oh, we're at table 5. Pace car mic. Table 5. Oops. Table 5.
Just give me a second. I'll be back. MJ's not here. I've got to grab my own drink.
See, I can see Sonny's side to it, but I don't agree 100%. So that's Ace did what he did because he was afraid that he wasn't going to get the funding. So that's where I stand on it. And I don't see it as deception, because if you waited like I did and you refreshed the page and you got in, if you didn't just buy in blind like me, you could have seen, oh, this contract has 2,500 ETH in it. And then you wouldn't have bought in like E and J did. And then all you would have been pissed off was, oh, I didn't get in before the pump. That's the only thing you can be pissed about. The people that bought in at the top, you were buying it at the top. Like I said, unless you didn't look at it like me. So there's people in his Discord that apparently made good money on it. I didn't. A lot of people didn't, but you can't say that it was 100% deception. That's just what I don't agree with that. So let me see what's going on here. Where the hell's ENJ? He's supposed to be on the stream. All right. Yeah, if you guys want to join in the conversation, there's a StreamYard link in the description, and then I could add you in. I don't know about the Oracle, though. I don't know if we should get the Oracle on or not. Yeah, this was just supposed to be a fun community poker game. But of course, we're going to talk about the drama with the Dapp, of course. Because, see, I don't agree it was deception because it was all transparent. If the UI had said 0 ETH in the contract and it was not updating, then yes, you could say it was somewhat deception. But that's not how it was.
All right, I'm back. I missed most of that. But how about if it says 24% will be distributed as dividends, but 24% isn't distributed as dividends? Then what? Is that deceptive?
What exactly does it say?
But it says exactly 24% dividend distribution.
Okay. Let's see. So how much is getting distributed?
Well, don't you know? Haven't you checked the contract?
I bought in. Like I said, I bought in and then I bought out, and that was it. So I haven't checked.
Well, I know you like coding. You can go have a look yourself. Go through and have a look at the contract and figure it out. Go, you come back and tell me.
It says 24% dividend distribution.
No, go and have a look in the contract and look what's actually happening.
Look in the contract. Okay. Well, let's look at that. I can't get it on here. Let me see. All right. 24% buy fee, 24% sell fee, 1% transfer fee.
Are you looking at the notes at the top of the contract, or are you looking at the actual code Bitsaway?
That's what I'm just getting to it. Yeah, I'm looking at the top. But unless they don't have that correct in there, I don't know. Let me see. What line are you looking at?
I'm not here to help Bitsaway this time. I want you to act, or you act like, listen, you found that pullback function in the ARB contract. Now you know you've called me out to say that I'm not even a developer. So let's see you rock it this time.
I never said you weren't a developer. I just said that you weren't.
I've got audio recordings of a video where you said that directly. Again, don't play with me, Bitsaway.
Okay, but you still didn't answer when I was on your stream that time. You never answered my question. If P3D had never been created, could you have made Gandhi?
I did answer that question. You just didn't like it. I said no, I wouldn't have been able to make it. But you didn't like the fact that I answered it. So you just carried on telling people that he couldn't answer my question. And then the funniest thing Bitsaway was I heard afterwards you went around telling everybody that you roasted everybody on Doc. You left with your tail between your legs, mate.
Kicked me off. I was still wanting to stay on, and
you left with your tail between your legs. Yeah. I know you like to play. Listen, I think maybe you were part of the nearly popular kids in school. I know that you wanted to get in that group, man, but I don't know, Bitsaway, why you just go on like that. Pleb, is the word I brought back because it reminded me of school days. And that's why I've had to call you, and it's nothing personal. I'm only basing what you talk about and what you do. Do you see what I mean? I'm only talking about what you've talked about in crypto and what you do.
Yeah. Well, I just add in the Oracle for the